throwing out the first pitch and make sure that it's a perfect strike like he did the last time he was here on Freddie's bobblehead night. It is the first of 3 games. The Dodgers against the Cubs. We will send it upstairs. Joe Davis and Eric Karros have the call. Take it away, guys.
All right, John, welcome to Friday Night Baseball on Sportsnet LA, brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's the Dodgers and the Cubs. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has been the Dodgers' best starting pitcher so far, and here he comes, ready to start this homestand. As we welcome you inside, hope your weekend's off to a great start. Joe Davis, Eric Karros, Kirsten Watson in just a moment. The Dodgers come off a 2-4 road trip and settle in for this homestand. It's good to be home, isn't it?
It really is good to be home. Good to be back in this weather in front of these fans. I expect them to play well, clean up the defense, a base running. I expect some hitting with Freddie back.
All right, as far as the pitching goes tonight, Yamamoto's been really good his first 3 starts. It began against these Cubs in Tokyo.
Yeah, it seems like he's just been getting better and better. You see what he did against the Cubs. 5 innings pitched, only 1 earned run. One of the things to look for in that game, he did not have a swing and miss on the fastball. Now, normally he doesn't really get many, but look for that splitter all night long to give the Cubs fits.
After 6 innings against the Phillies the other day, 1-1 with a 1.69 ERA as he gets ready to make his 4th start. That roar you just heard a moment ago is Charlie Freeman throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. His dad's back in the lineup today, Kirsten.
Joe, Freddie Freeman is back, and the ovation, it has been electric in here for his return. Fans were lining up early in this day to get his bobblehead, so he came back in perfect timing. He spent the last 10 days on the IL, recovering from re-aggravating that ankle. He slipped in the shower, and he said, as much as he did not want to go on the IL, it was the best thing that could have happened to him. His ankle feels better than when he started the season. He's mentally just more free and in a good spot, whether it's defensively or running the bases. So he is more than thrilled to be back out there tonight, guys.
All right, Kirsten, it's like he scripted it, huh? Coming back on his bobblehead night. The Dodgers and Cubs starting a 3-game series on a beautiful night for baseball in Los Angeles. We've got first pitch coming up on Sportsnet LA.
Is that right? I'm going to try something different. Going to try something different this telecast. Okay, move it. Well, I don't get to see it. Yeah, Boyd. This is all season. The 2 starts. 4-seamer, slider, change up. Yes, sir. Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Ford dealers. Check out the full lineup of stylish, powerful trucks and SUVs. It's time to see Ford in a new light. And by Carl's Jr., introducing Carl's Jr.'s new triple burgers. Next time, tell them to triple it. Dodgers and Cubs for the second time this year already. The Cubs in Tokyo didn't look great. Dropped those 2 games, but they come here in first place, having won 7 of their last 9 games. 9-6 overall, going 9-4 since returning stateside. The offense has been on fire. 7 runs per game since coming back to the States. Here's the batting order presented by your Southern California helpful Honda dealers. Ian Happ leads off, and then the guy that has done the most to change things for the Cubs, Kyle Tucker, acquired from the Houston Astros, bats second, #1 in the National League in several categories. Seiya Suzuki, the DH, comes in red hot. Former Dodger Michael Busch at first base hitting cleanup. And then it's Dansby Swanson at short, Nico Horner at second. Local guy Pete Crow Armstrong bats 7th in center field with Shaw at third. And Miguel Amaya doing the catching. Yamamoto has been the best starter for the Dodgers so far. 1 unearned run against a really good Phillies lineup last Friday to drive his ERA down to 1.69. And ready to make his 4th start tonight.
Threw extremely well against the Phillies. Relied a lot on that 4-seamer. Threw 42 of those, and obviously he's that 4-seam. The splitter will throw the curve as well. I mean, what will be important tonight, I think, is the Cubs have seen him once before. So how do they attack the splitter? And the best way to attack it is to take it.
Yeah, threw that more than he ever had against the Cubs in Japan. More than 40% of the time. The Cubs went just 1 for 9 against him.
Yeah, and again, when you start swinging at that pitch as a hitter, usually it runs out of the zone. One of the things he's been good at, though, is getting in-zone swings. And if he can locate, when I say locate, just throw that splitter over the plate, he will be a nightmare for the offense.
He's faced him already 3 times in his career, a couple times as a rookie. He's 2-0. He's got a 0.64 against the Cubs. So here's what you're talking about. The 1 for 9 against the splitter as he went 5 innings, gave up just 1 run. Yeah, got the win on opening day. Dodgers 10-4, coming off that 2-4 road trip through Philadelphia and D.C. Happy to be home, where they won all 6 games on their season opening homestand. Off we go, and Ian Happ fouls off a first pitch fastball. You know, pitching was the biggest reason for the 2-4 road trip. They had a +5 ERA on the trip. It was a sub-2 ERA during the 8-0 start. There's a splitter, and it's mostly on the shoulders of the starters because the bullpen has been consistently excellent. Yamamoto trying to pick this staff up and get things turned around. He's home with an 0-2. It's another splitter, and it misses away.
Yeah, one of the things, too, the starting pitching issuing a lot of walks, and that's something that this Dodger staff just cannot continue to do as we move throughout the year.
Swing and a miss. 3 consecutive splitters, and that one works.
So the pitch that sets the rest of this at-bat up is that first pitch fastball where he gets ahead of Happ 0-1, and then it's just splitter, splitter, splitter. And like I said, if he's getting that anywhere near the plate, it'll be a long evening for the Cubs.
And it's going to be a full mouth at Jumbo Jacks tomorrow. Kyle Tucker, exactly what the Cubs were hoping for, exactly what the Cubs needed. Takes a first pitch curveball. They got him in a trade from Houston this offseason, and it's kind of like there's this impression that it's, wow, this guy's out of the middle of nowhere. Well, this is what Kyle Tucker was doing for years in Houston. It's just now he's out of the shadow of Altuve and Alvarez and Bregman and Correa. He's had that superstar production for years, but now he's the guy with the spotlight.
Yeah, I mean, the offense is completely centered around him. He is the focal point. You see what he's done in his last 14 games. If you look at what he did last year and what he was doing before he got hurt, he was the MVP. He really was. I mean, he was having that type of season.
Sitting 290, had a OPS just behind Aaron Judge in the American League. Then he fouled a ball off his shin in June and missed 3 months. So you can understand why he was a bit forgotten late last year. This has been one of the most well-rounded players in baseball for several years. 28 years of age, former 5th overall pick of the draft of the Astros. For a few years he was back and forth between the big leagues and AAA before he really established himself. But we're talking about a guy with 3 straight All-Star selections that is about to get paid this offseason. On a 2-2 from Yamamoto, he fouls off the splitter. 1 year for him and for the Cubs to get to know each other to see if this is perhaps want to turn this dating game into a marriage.
Kind of feel like they've gone this far, at least Tucker's side, that, I mean, you got to explore things.
Right.
But Chicago would be a great place to play.
And the Cubs got to be looking at it saying, yeah, 1 year of him is excellent, but they gave up 14 years of control and some good players to get him. So while this 1 year, it's going to be fantastic having him as a Cub, to really punch it, to really make it feel like is worth that trade, they probably feel like they got to get him long term. He's worked the full count. Here it comes. A fastball, and it blazes by him. 2 up and 2 down on a pair of Ks for Yamamoto.
He had Tucker guessing, did not anticipate a fastball, and perfectly located. So not only was the pitch a surprise, but the location was impeccable.
A nod to his fellow Japanese star here in Seiya Suzuki, who went 0 for 8 in Tokyo. He's hitting .346 since, and he's coming off a series against the Rangers where he was 7 for 11. On the 1-0 from Yamamoto, Suzuki takes ball 2. Got Tucker doing his thing. Suzuki's been really good. Several guys throughout this lineup clicking and scoring more than 7 runs per game since returning to the U.S. They've been patient. They lead the league in walks, but it's been a great balance of patience on balls, but being aggressive on pitches in the zone. Three and one. Fly to right. Teoscar Hernandez waits for this to come down from the darkening sky on a beautiful night in Los Angeles. Finishes off a 1-2-3 first for Yamamoto. Presented by your Southern California helpful Honda dealers, and it's nice to see Freddie Freeman back in that lineup, playing first base, hitting cleanup, followed by Tommy Edman and Will Smith. And the trickle-down effect of having a guy like Freeman back in there hitting cleanup, you get Conforto now down at the 7 spot, Pages in center, and Rojas starts for Muncy at third with the lefty on the mound, and the lefty is a good one. And Matthew Boyd, his first pitch of the game to Shohei Ohtani, is hit in the ground to first, and a nice play by Michael Busch. 1 pitch, 1 out for the 34-year-old from Mercer Island, Washington, who's in his first year with the Cubs, and through 2 starts, no runs in 11 innings.
Yeah, you know, in his last start against the Padres, he had a 26-pitch first inning. It looked like things were going to go haywire. Ends up collecting himself, goes 6 innings. And how did he do it? He did it with the 4-seamer and the slider. We'll mix it in the changeup as well. You know, the Dodgers have seen a number of good left-handed pitching so far this year. Skubal, Sale, Luzardo, Sanchez, and they get another one tonight.
Yeah, they really have, you know, not just the lefties, but tough righties too. They faced a bunch of good starting pitching early on. Part of the reason why first 4 innings run differential's upside down. You're the best team in baseball from the 5th inning on, but first through the 4th, the 3rd worst team. We've talked about the starting pitching issues lately, but the offense has had a hard time getting going against some of these better starters. Mookie Betts ahead in the count, 2-1.
And that's something that you wouldn't think, because right out of the chute, you know, you're seeing 3-4 of the top hitters in the game, right? With Freeman, Betts, and Shohei. Now, granted, Freddie's been out, so scratch that thought there.
This Freeman's 4th game. On a 3-1 pitch, Betts takes high for ball 4, and he's aboard. Dodgers with their first base runner of the game. And it brings up Teoscar Hernandez, comes in 2nd in home runs, tied for 1st in runs batted in. In his last 4 games, he's driven in 8.
the Dodgers have needed a hit, he's come through. You saw what he did in Philly, a couple of home runs there, and then carried that bat into Washington. But he's continued right where he left off last season.
33 home runs last year. He's got 5 this season. And he's been one of the only guys that has still thrived against left-handed pitching in the early going. He's hitting .471 against lefties. Another continuation from last year, to your point, when he was the #1 hitter in the National League in OPS against lefties. Boyd's 0-1. Misses inside. Check swing, no swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boyd's in his 11th major league season. He had 7 seasons with the Tigers and then several injury-riddled years where he bounced around. He's with Seattle. He's with San Francisco for a year. Never pitched for them. Just rehab with the Giants. Then goes back to Detroit. Has another arm surgery. Has Tommy John. And so we're talking years where he's just kind of off in the wilderness, making a start here and a start there. Comes back late last year with Cleveland and earns himself this $30 million contract with the Cubs by going basically carrying that Guardian staff the final 2 months into the postseason. Had a 2.28 ERA, hadn't pitched in more than a year. Healthy as he's been in a long time. He's looked like it through his first couple starts. Part of a really good Cubs starting pitching staff. Good lead for Betts at first. 2-2 comes home, and the count goes full. Freddie Freeman waits on deck. Time taken. So there has been some traffic against Matthew Boyd this year in those 11 scoreless innings. There's been more than a base runner per inning, but that's where he's been really good. Opponents just 2 for 24 with men on base. Here's his 3-2 and a high fly ball to center field for Pete Crow Armstrong. 2 out. And here comes Freddie Freeman, a man of the night in a couple ways. First game in almost 2 weeks for Freddie. Just happens to fall on his bobblehead night. And man, do these folks love him. Big lead for Betts. And a scamper back in there.
Mookie got some air in that dive back to first.
Did.
That wasn't a slide. That was a legitimate dive.
Looking like a cartoon at first. Couldn't get the feet to start. He's spinning in place. Freeman way out in front of that. Strike one. So Freddie says he feels as good as he has. That ankle feels as good as it has since before he hurt it the last week of the regular season last year. Obviously had the surgery early on in the offseason. It felt okay, but he would tweak it here and there. And he thinks his 2 weeks off have put him in a great place.
Well, that was the thing. He was pushing himself so hard just to make sure that he could go play in Tokyo. And once he did that, I mean, the season, there's no time for a break, and this thing allowed for him to get right.
And that was the whole discussion. Of course, he's never going to easily say, yeah, I'm going on the injured list. He takes a lot of pride in always being in the lineup. But the message was, look, Freddie, we get it, and we love it, but would you rather have, say, 140 great games or 155 games where you're hurting the whole time? Bites this one off. So through gritted teeth, he took it. He said, all right, I'll go on the injured list. And then he stayed fresh here with some simulated games against some minor league pitchers, some live BP. And it certainly helps having as simple of an approach and as simple of a swing as he has to get it started up again. On this 1-2 from Boyd. Swings and misses at strike 3. Off and rolling at Dodger Stadium. No score after an inning.
Shop the new Dodgers World Series Champion Gold Collection at MLBShop.com. Embellished with gold accents and scripts, get the gear that celebrates the glory of last season's journey.
No score after an inning. To the second we go. Michael Busch leads off against Yamamoto and pushes a bunt foul. It's a guy who's known more for his pop. 21 home runs in his first season as an everyday player last year. First season with the Cubs. He's another guy who got off to a slow start in Tokyo, but has turned it on since coming back, hitting .300 since returning to the States. Man, that splitter. It's like it makes a right turn. It's like a remote control where he cranks it to the right.
Well, it's got some arm side run, and you couple that with being a left-handed hitter, the ball moving away from you, just so difficult to try to make any type of contact.
That pitch, that movement is what best explains why left-handers are 3 for 31 against Yamamoto. Same deal last year. OPS is 220 points lower for lefties.
Dodger fans will remember Hideo Nomo had that tornado windup. So not only did he have that great splitter forkball, but he'd also turn his back to the left-handed hitters. Very similar. Left-handed hitters had no chance against that forkball.
There it is right there. Swing and a miss, strike 3. His third K over the first 4 hitters.
All right, I'm going to call it a splitter the rest of the night. That's because it's showing up here. I'm not going to say, but that pitch runs away from that left-handed hitter. Like I said, the best way to attack it is to take it. Don't even swing at it.
You make it sound simple.
Well, it's not simple, but the point is when you get up there.
High fly ball off of the bat of Dansby Swanson sends Pages to the track. No big deal. 2 out.
When you get up there, you think that, okay, I'm going to get one. He's going to leave one up there, and it's just going to hang, and I'm going to get it. And you have to take the pride out of the equation. And literally, if he throws a splitter, and it's not the thing of, well, I don't recognize it. You just sit on fastball. You literally sit on fastball. And if he could throw the splitter, God bless you.
2 gone. Base is empty for Nico Hoerner. The tornado windup you're talking about with Hideo Nomo, he started doing that as a way to impress his dad when they would play catch. Turning his back, dad said, "That looks cool." And then Japanese baseball conventional wisdom was there is a very specific way to do things. You shouldn't be going against the grain. They tried to change him. There were some coaches that did, but he always went back to that tornado delivery. Created that fork ball, or at least helped get his hand ready for it by putting the ball between his fingers, taping it up, going to sleep.
Jeez.
Late swing and a foul. Well, Hoerner missed the 2 games in Tokyo. He was finishing off recovery from offseason forearm surgery, and he's done what he often does since getting activated. That is hit for average. This is one of the elite bat-to-ball guys in the National League. 11 games, he's hitting .326. Out of the 1-2 from Yamamoto. Extra pause in the windup there, and spikes it 2-2. Speeds a fastball in there. It's slapped foul. It's 96 and 97, so it's already fast. But then it just looks extra sneaky fast because you got to worry about the splitter. Even watching it at home, even watching it up here, it looks extra fast. And occasionally they loop one of those bad boys in there. He hasn't used nearly as much this year as he did last year. It's just kind of back to the usage pattern that he had in Japan, where there'd just be a handful of those curveballs per game. Home with another 2-2. The 8th pitch to Hoerner is another foul ball. And so he's getting a taste of what makes Nico Hoerner special. 27-year-old in his 7th season, former Stanford Cardinal. On the 9th pitch, takes a fastball that nails the bullseye for strike 3. 4 Ks for Yamamoto through 2. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. No score to the bottom of the 2nd. Tommy Tanks leads things off against Matthew Boyd and takes a strike. 1 of every 5 home runs that Tommy Edman has hit in the big leagues have come against the Cubs. Most of his career coming in the division. Their arch rival St. Louis Cardinals, but even since coming to the Dodgers, he had 3 home runs in 1 series against the Cubs last year, and then homered against them in Tokyo. Bounces this ball to short, and Dansby Swanson, a high throw, and Bush's able to hold the bag.
Swanson, one of the most sure-handed shortstop in the game, flips it over there. And as you mentioned, Michael Busch does a nice job of keeping his foot on the corner of that base.
Mostly a second baseman coming up. He's learned first base and acclimated. 1 away in the second inning, and here's Will Smith, who had his season-opening 11-game on-base streak snap with an 0-for-4 on Wednesday. Still, though, second in the National League with an on-base percentage right at .500. Only Marcell Ozuna with a higher on-base. The 1-0. Ball 2. Key guy for the Dodgers. We've talked about this a couple times, but you know you've got the MVPs at the top. Bottom of the order, it's taken them time to get going. But if Will Smith can sustain this hot start that he's had the last couple of years, if he can sustain that, the way that lengthens and connects the lineup, it's transformative.
Well, it really is. And, you know, one of the things he's done besides getting on base, hitting with runners in scoring position, has been outstanding. And if he can just maintain, you know, like, let me drive the ball the other way, you know, don't get power conscious. He just has to support this lineup.
Down on strikes here, 2 out. Matthew Boyd with his second K.
Just reared back, 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer at the top of the zone.
Going to face off here with his old college teammate, and yeah, a little smile for his friend Michael Conforto. Former Oregon State Beavers together. Their relationship, though, goes back to their high school days. They're both from the Seattle area. Michael a couple years younger, but played up, and so faced Boyd when they were in high school. And then Matthew hosted Conforto on his recruiting visit to Oregon State. Said that he's as nice of a guy as you will ever meet. Michael said this about Matthew today, and he said he's so nice that it's almost unbelievable how competitive he is once he steps onto the mound, because it's so different than who he is as a guy. But that's how he's always been.
Not that nice. He just threw a 2-0 curveball. Hey, need a slider. You need a fastball right there, huh?
They've never faced off in the big leagues. This is their first matchup since some inter-squad matchups in Corvallis more than a decade ago. Got squeezed right there. And so it's 3-1 on Conforto. Boyd comes home. Conforto takes ball 4. And a walk against his buddy. And a word from Jack in the Box.
My Nashville hot popcorn chicken. So much deliciousness starting at $6.99.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Relief was the word Andy Pages used after the couple games in Washington. Back-to-back home run games, his first 2 of the season. And what has been a frustrating start for him. He's hoping that that's the start of something good. Inside for ball 1.
2 solo home runs. Both of those came on off-speed pitches, sliders that kind of just hung out over the plate. Andy did a nice job of staying back and dropping the barrel on it.
Way up there to shallow center field. Horner goes out, makes the call. Cole Armstrong lets him take it. And after 2 innings in LA, no score. Stadium, top 3, 6 up, 6 down for Yoshi Yamamoto with 4 Ks. And so the bottom third of the Cubs order coming up here in the 3rd inning. It's the local guy, Pete Crow Armstrong. Sherman Oaks native out of Harvard Westlake. Son of a pair of actors. Grew up here in Los Angeles. First took the field at Dodger Stadium as a kids take the field kid before the game. And you know, the kids run out there and then they have a baseball. They get it signed by the player. Well, he was out at first base. Nomar Garciaparra ran out, signed his baseball for him. Signed it for a future big leaguer. And a pretty good one, certainly an exciting one. In his 2nd full season in the major leagues, as fast as any player in baseball and as good and exciting as any center fielder defensively. Put on a show last year here at Dodger Stadium. Robbed a home run, saving a game. And this is not personal. He does this kind of thing often.
Well, this kid's always had a flair for the dramatic, doing special things.
Better hustle over there.
Yamamoto does. How about this one? Sorry about it.
Yeah.
To end the game.
Animated. He played on all the USA teams as a youth. Been in a number of big moments, but always been a fun kid to watch play just because of his exuberance and obviously his athleticism.
And he just turned 23 years old, did Pete Crow Armstrong. Another youngster here in Matt Shaw. And as often is the case, he's found the big leagues to be difficult, hitting 170 over his first 14 games. Cubs top prospect, who's a first-round pick less than 2 years ago out of the University of Maryland. Played less than a full season of minor league games before getting the call to open this season. Cubs went after Alex Bregman. He said he heard all that. And then he got a text from his friend frantically telling him, dude, the Red Sox just signed Bregman. And he said, oh my gosh, I might have just made the big league roster. The 1-2 from Yamamoto, and he tops it along the line foul.
I mean, it is tough for a youngster like that. You know, he had some success in the minor leagues, but you're being thrust, you know, onto a ball club that has playoff aspirations. And he started the season hitting in the middle of the lineup, hitting 5th.
Hitting 8 tonight. Behind 1-2. Yamamoto kicks and throws a fastball, poke the other way. Hernandez saunters back. 2 up, 2 down. 8 up, 8 down.
Catcher number 9, Miguel Amaya.
Well, this guy right here, Miguel Amaya, catcher for the Cubs, had one of the only hard hit balls against Yamamoto in Tokyo. Doubled off of the wall. Curve is in for a strike. We're talking about the walk issues for the Dodger pitching staff. It's kind of gone hand in hand with the idea that they have not gotten deep into games. In fact, last in the majors, averaging 4 innings per start. Yamamoto's been the exception. 5+ innings in all 3 of his starts. And Dave Roberts is saying today he wants to be that guy. He gets that sense that, like, it's okay, he's going to get his extra day. He gets his week to get ready. But then it is no holds barred once the game gets going. He wants to go as deep as he can.
And obviously they're going to need length from those starters. You just can't keep going to the bullpen, you know, like Doc has. And then the bullpen's been great. But there's also a buildup too, right? You know, as we etch our way into the season, you know, these guys will, you know, be going 6 and, you know, maybe 7 innings.
Another 1-2 pitch. Climbs the ladder to get to that fastball, but it's just a weak little pop to Freddie Freeman, and it's 9 up, 9 down for Yamamoto. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. There's so much free food in the new Jack app, your wallet's going to miss you. No runs, no hits for either side as we go to the bottom of the third. Joe Davis, Eric Karros, Kirsten Watson, and 9-1-2 coming up against Boyd here in the third. It's Miguel Rojas who gets the start at third tonight. Matthew Boyd comes home and starts him with the fastball for a strike. Rojas just 3 for 24 so far. In and out of the lineup. Third base today with Muncy getting the rest against the tough lefty.
Boyd has been good. He's been keeping the hitters off balance with that slider, the changeup as well. There's that slider again.
He was saying the other day that he feels like this is the first time in his career where he's had the slider and the changeup both really working for him at the same time. And you get that tunneling effect. Looking really similar velocity-wise, they're pretty close. Rojas gets to this ball, yanks it into left center field and gets the first hit of the game. A lot of times you're going to have more of a separation between your slider and your changeup, but they're both around 80. One of them breaks one way, the other goes the other.
He got a change up there, up in the zone. What's real nice, the hitter in front of Shohei got on base.
And he does his best Shohei impression, as everybody's doing these days. And here is Ohtani, grounded to first pitch of the ball game. He's reached in 29 consecutive games back to mid-September of last year. He's hitting above 400 in that time. A week before that on-base streak began, he homered against Boyd. On this 0-1 pitch, taps it foul. Here is that home run, September 6th last year, is the only run the Dodgers scored against Boyd over 6 innings. That was part of Boyd's resurrection. Rare have been these chances, though, with runners on base. Chases strike 3.
Three excellent pitches. He started off with a fastball way in and crowded him, then ran that slider away. Then finishes him off with a slider out of the zone. I mean, really a textbook. He didn't give Shohei anything to hit.
Didn't give Betts anything to hit either his first time, and he drew a walk. Continues to find his way aboard. 5 consecutive games. Oh. Ooh, got a generous call right there. 5 consecutive games Mookie Betts has reached base twice. It's the quietest, most ho-hum 950 OPS you're going to find.
But that's what also makes him so special is you just kind of take that for granted. And yet what he's doing is, you know, top of the line again.
Oh, 2 from Boyd. Average is .310. The OPS 956. 3 huge home runs on the opening homestand.
And didn't he lose 20 some odd pounds?
Yeah, right.
Just I mean.
Steadily adding it back. Back above 160. He's in low 170s at his peak in spring training. Miguel's saying, I'm 37. I'm not going anywhere. Get off me, ball. Rojas at first, one away. No score, last of the third. Here's Boyd's 1-2 again. And Betts takes a change that misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Is actually the slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jams him and popped on the left side of the infield for Dansby Swanson. 2 out.
Jammed him, tied him up with a changeup.
Number 37.
Again, that thing just kept running inside, and Mookie had already committed. Was in no man's land, had to continue with the swing. Boyd has been, I have to admit, he has been special so far. He's staying away from the middle part of the plate. He's thrown 3 different pitches for strikes. Kept everybody off balance.
First one to Teoscar Hernandez is lifted into shallow right field. Another hitter with weak contact. Horner's out. Tucker's on. He's got it. And that's now 14 scoreless innings to open Matthew Boyd's season.
シームできた見逃しの三振落とした空振り三振フォーシーム見事
So I've been messing around in the Babbel app and just thought I'd show it off a little bit. You know? What do you guys think? Now that's our friends at NHK. The call here. Yamamoto's 9 up, 9 down start to this game. Turns out, it sounds like 4-seam in Japanese is 4-seam.
Yeah, I couldn't really decipher that that call. Is that was 4-seam?
I swear I heard 4-seam in there and a couple 4-seamers. Ian Happ starts this inning. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kirsten, how's your Japanese?
It's not great, Joe, but I do have a fun thing with you when it comes to calling the different pitches. So even Yoshinobu last year, he requested for his pitch comp to be in English because most of the pitches, as you all mentioned, it's the same in both languages. So he agrees with you. 4-seamer or a 2-seamer in Japanese, also in English.
All right. Universal language, pitches. He struck out Happ on a good splitter. Went with 3 of those in a row. First at bat. See what he does here on 2-2. It's a fastball and it's dumped back. That's where most pitchers go against Happ. And when they have this season to finish at bats, he's 1 for 14.
Well, he just went at the top of the zone with the fastball. I mean, it's got splitter written all over this pitch.
It was, and it was taken for ball 3.
All right, he surprised Tucker with that fastball down and away, the knees, on a 3-2 pitch.
It's a splitter, and it's a devilish one. Strikeout number 5 for Yamamoto, who's retired the first 10 Cubs.
That's why hitting is so darn difficult. Again, if you're happy, you're thinking, okay, well, Tucker, I mean, he's a great hitter. He 3-2. He got that fastball down and away. Probably throw me a fastball.
It's Tucker back up there. First pitch splitter fouled off. You mentioned him finishing off Tucker with the fastball and getting it looking. This is the 7th time this season he's gotten a strikeout on a fastball, and 5 of the 7 have been looking. So he's not the only guy who gets caught in there thinking, okay, I'm going to get a splitter with 2 strikes. Got to be ready to protect that. And then before they figure it out, it's by him.
Yeah. And he's done it to the right-handed hitters, too. He did Kyle Tucker dirty, and then he went and did Nico Horner a few hitters later. Same thing.
On the corner, strike 2.
That splitter tonight, he's had 10 swings, 5 misses. A lot of, as you mentioned, takes on the fastball. Right now, you just hoping he hangs something because you got no chance. I mean, you're at his mercy. As a hitter right now, it's almost, I'm going to spread out and I'm just going to try to catch the ball with the barrel of my bat. I'm not trying to hit you. I'm just trying to catch it. Because if I have any type of aggressiveness, Yamamoto's going to eat me up.
Another 0-2. It is a splitter, and it's hit down the line, a fair ball. Tucker on an 0-2 pitch becomes the first Cubs base runner of the night. And of course, it's Kyle Tucker, the Cubs superstar, with a double.
Tucker just kind of waiting back, and he gets that splitter. Wasn't a horrible pitch. It had some pretty good location, but he's able to just hook it down the line. Freddie making a gallant effort at trying to get there.
National League leading 12th extra base hit for Kyle Tucker. So he's into scoring position for Suzuki. Maybe the hottest Cubs hitter right here. Takes ball 1. Seiya Suzuki in his 4th year in the major leagues signed a record deal for a Japanese position player. So you got the guy that signed the biggest deal for a Japanese position player against the guy that signed the biggest deal for a Japanese pitcher. Waves over the top of that splitter, 1-1. And then there's the man that does both and is paid accordingly. On a 1-1, Suzuki pokes a base hit the other way. Tucker stopped at 3rd. And rounding first is Suzuki. Freeman's now got him. Flips to 2nd. Betts will run him back and tag him with an eye on Tucker to keep him put. Suzuki runs into the 2nd out. And the Dodgers execute the rundown without the runner coming home through the back door.
See, that's tough as your Suzuki right there, because you're thinking the minute you hit that Tucker, he's got good speed, that they're going to send him. So you're thinking, if there is a throw, I've got to draw it by going to 2nd base. But the minute Tucker's held up, I mean, you don't know that as the runner at first. Running around, you can't see it. So you're in no man's land, and fortunate for the Dodgers.
So it's up to Michael Busch, and a curve is inside for ball 1. Cubs have been one of the best base running teams in baseball so far. Very aggressive, whether that's stealing bases or taking extra bases. Now, Busch was at his best here at Dodger Stadium last year in his first trip back. after the Dodgers traded him. 3 games last year at Dodger Stadium. Homered, had 2 doubles, and knocked in 4. He's got Tucker at third. Takes a curve for a strike, and it's 2-1. Two-one pitch. Pinpoint for strike 2. And the fastball command.
I mean, the down and away pitch to both lefties and righties. He has dotted that fastball when he's needed to.
See what he goes to here on a 2-2. Splitter out of the same window, and it looked like Bush was ready for it.
All right, 3-2 to a left-handed hitter. Tucker got a fastball. Happ got a splitter. If you're Bush here, you're going like, oh, all right, let me guess.
Right, it's like I think he thinks, I think he
right.
thinks, I think. Fastball, splitter. Let's find out together. It is a splitter, and it strikes him out. Yamamoto strands Tucker at third. 4 scoreless innings and 6 Ks. Looking like an ace, Yamamoto.
Come to Dodger Stadium on Monday for Hello Kitty Night. The first 40,000 fans in attendance receive a Hello Kitty Squish plush. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
No, nothing for either side. To the bottom of the 4th, where Freddie Freeman slaps the first pitch that Matthew Boyd throws foul before the game. Freddie's son, Charlie, throwing out the first pitch. Special day for the Freeman family. Ball 1 strike on Freddie. We heard the chanting of his name as he came up the first time, mentioned how much the crowd loves him. I mean, they've loved him from very early on. But he hits that home run that the bobblehead memorializes, and he is locked in forever.
Yep.
In LA sports history, in baseball history. He doesn't have to do another thing for the rest of his career, and his spot in sports history is cemented. He's down on strikes here, 1 away in the 4th. And more intimately, his spot in LA. I mean, this guy, if he doesn't want to, doesn't have to pay for another meal for the rest of his life.
Look at that.
So good. Tommy Edman hacks this one on the ground to Dansby Swanson. A low throw, and Michael Busch for the second time today helps out his shortstop. One time he went up. Here he goes down. Do it, huh? First baseman, let's go.
Well, she makes a nice play right there, helping out the shortstop. I can't say do it. There's one do it.
Muntz.
Do it, Muntz.
Do it, Muntz.
Right?
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your signature call.
That's right.
2 away for Will Smith. Strike one from Boyd. Strikeout victim his first time, one of the 4 for Boyd. Dodgers a top 10 offense when it comes to the bottom line, scoring runs, even though they've only had Freddie Freeman for those 3 games and several guys well below their career norms. Stabilizing force back in there tonight, though. And the trickle-down effect from it, the domino effect of having him in there. You get Smith down to 6th. You've got Conforto hitting 7th. One piece, one spot, but it changes the feel of the whole thing. 9-pitch inning for Boyd. Pitchers duel going. No score after 4. Toyota dealers. A former Dodger, Nate Oliver, passed away last week at the age of 84. He was on the championship teams 1963, 1965, and was one of the greatest singers in Dodger history, whether that was in the clubhouse or singing the anthem. Ball went on Dansby Swanson in a scoreless game here in the 5th. This is Old Timers Day, well after his career was finished. Played in the Old Timers game, and then they tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, Nate, our anthem singer just bailed. What do you think about singing the anthem before the game?" So in full uniform, he goes out there and does it, filling in for Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, my.
Right? And prayers to Nate's family. Nate debuted against the Chicago Cubs. Put him right into the 2 spot of the order. In his debut game, singled in his first 2 at-bats. Three balls, 1 strike on Dansby Swanson. 6 Ks for Yamamoto in this game. That fastball has been dialed. 21 out of 27 for strikes. There was a lot of talk during spring training. Oh, Yamamoto looks good. This guy could contend for Cy Young. And it's like, well, that's good to hear. But that, you know, typical spring training hyperbole that you hear thrown around. He's looked every bit a part of a Cy Young contender. And I have no idea what in the world that pitch was. At 95, moving like that?
I mean, it said sinker. And this is the thing. Dansby Swanson was 3-0. Takes a fastball, he just statued it up there. But then he gets a slider on the 3-1 pitch, which Yamamoto hasn't been throwing at all tonight, right? And then comes back with a sinker.
Dansby's thinking, I was told he didn't have a slider or a sinker. That's only the 7th sinker that he's thrown all year. It's only the 4th slider that he's thrown all year. So when he does that, this is a 6-pitch guy. Ball and a strike on Hoerner.
Yeah, that's not really fair. As a hitter, you're trying to protect just against that fastball and splitter.
That sinker, by the way, moved 14 inches to the arm side. It's exactly what the swing told us. Thing almost hit him. 2-1. Curve is in, 2-2. And it's like every curve just completely locks the hitter up. You got a 20-mile-per-hour gap in speeds between the curveball and the fastball. And the variance in movements on these 6 pitches, it's all over the place. Here's his 2-2. Chopper, Rojas, 2 out. Pete Crow Armstrong grounded to first, his first time up. Strike 1. Strike 2.
I mean, you got to get a splitter right here, right?
Splitter for strike 1, fastball for strike 2, splitter for ground ball, and out 3. Halfway home, and no score. Yamamoto and Boyd putting on a pitching clinic. champion. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor, serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes for 70 years. It's Conforto to start this scoreless bottom of the 5th, and he slices a base hit into center field, and he's reached both times against his old college pal. I asked him, did you ever get him in high school or any of the inter-squad games? And he said, no. And I know I didn't because I would remember it if I did. Great program up there at Oregon State. Pat Casey, legendary coach, 25 years as the head man there. Tough, intense, intimidating presence. Pages takes outside. So my last games at ESPN.
Don't say. Oh, you can say that. Yeah.
What? ESPN is like, okay. Last games at ESPN were an Oregon State Super Regional where Michael Conforto was playing. And I remember meeting Pat Casey and being like, my gosh, I am terrified of this man. I mentioned that to Michael and he said, oh, we kind of all were. Like, we love the guy, but we were way more afraid of him than anything that could happen on the field. And he said, I think there was kind of a method to that madness. He wanted to be tough on us. He wanted us to bond over the fact that, hey, coach is tough, coach is difficult. And the proof is in the pudding with what he did there in 24 seasons, 3 national championships as the head coach, including, how about going out in style, 2018, right, winning a championship in his final year.
Yeah, he did. He won somewhere. Was it 05 and 06 or somewhere around there? Because I was at the same thing. I had done some College World Series and got a chance to see the Beavers. They were exceptional.
Fun fact, that Super Regional that I did, Oregon State, Kansas State, Michael Conforto starring, my analyst, Alex Cora.
No way. That is good.
Make old pal dive in there, get a little dirty. Conforto doesn't have a stolen base in 2 years. Pages down on strikes.
Just dropped that curveball in there, and again, he's been so good tonight. And his Yamamoto with a plethora of pitches, Boyd's been just as effective. Fastball, changeup, slider, curveball.
Rojas shows bunt, takes a strike. And so part of what you're battling as a hitter becomes indecision, right?
I mean, it's that whole thing. It's hitting is educated guessing. And there are times that, you may look foolish up there, but it's because you had just guessed wrong. You were looking for a certain pitch, and the guy never threw one. And say, oh man, how could he look so bad? Wasn't looking for it.
Rojas, who singled his first time, takes inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 walks, 2 hits for the Dodgers, but 0 for 7 with men on base today. Trying to get the offense going more strung together, trying to get it more team oriented. It's been so home run reliant. That's lifted into left field. Happ is there. Conforto back to first. Before Ohtani bats, let's get a word from Morongo.
Desi Banks, live April 25th. Get tickets now. Morongo.
Desi Banks opens for Ohtani. No score. Bottom of the 5th. Ohtani takes outside just by an inch. The 1-0. The 5 Japanese superstars on these two clubs that were perfect selections to feature in Japan to open the year. Into left center field for Happ. And dueling zeros through 5, Yamamoto and Boyd.
Celebrate Korean Heritage Night this Wednesday. Purchase a special ticket pack for an exclusive Heritage Night jersey presented by Jinro. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Well, the hope was Yamamoto could set a tone for this rotation after the off day, after the road trip. And that he has. 5 scoreless innings. Loops in a curve for a strike to buckle the knees of Matt Shaw. 8-9-1 come up for the Cubs here in the 6th inning. Cubs have just 2 base runners in this game. And he's feeling so good. He's going so fast. Home plate umpire DJ Rayburn says, slow your roll. You got to wait till Shaw makes eye contact with you. Oh. I don't know who this one is on.
The beach ball.
Beach ball.
Yeah, that's it. You know what's crazy is you go back, as good as Yamamoto has been, if it wasn't for the running blunder by Suzuki last inning,
yeah,
you know, the Cubs might be on the board. I'm not saying they would have scored, but certainly did not help things.
Margin's very narrow in this well-pitched game. Yamamoto for the Dodgers and Boyd for the Cubs. Shaw fly to right his first time, finds himself in an 0-2 hole here. Tries to lay off a curve and does. Or did he? So now 1-2. That was a sinker. Didn't have quite the same side-to-side movement as the one that he struck out Swanson on. Bit of more downward movement that time. So now it's 2-2. And it's by the hands to run it full. From 0-2 to 3-2. And a strikeout. Fastball blazes in there. His 8th.
This is what Yamamoto's been doing all evening. You see the splitter and the swing and misses. He's had 7 of them. predominantly against those left-handed hitters. He's basically in the same spot, running down and away. But you know what? You got to worry about the fastball. Dotted Tucker, got Horner, and in case you guys just forgot, the previous hitter, Matt Shaw.
That'd be a short memory. Miguel Amaya out of the 9th spot ahead 2-0. And yeah, it's another, all three of them like houses by the side of the road, putting up a village of houses watching fastballs go by. Off of the plate, Yamamoto will watch it stay foul, and it's 2-1. When people were raving about him during spring training, that was the thing, if you pressed him a little bit, that they were talking about. His conviction and his location with his fastball. The splitter is amazing, right? It's a very unique pitch, the way that it moves, how hard it is. But any pitcher is going to tell you, if they could choose one thing, it's fastball command, and that's what everybody was talking about when they were saying, look out for this guy this year.
Well, and I'd argue that it might be a more important pitch than the splitter because it sets up the splitter.
Oof. Cue shot at second. Edman twirls and throws. Got him. Makes even the hard ones look fundamental.
I mean, Edman does such a good job of getting over. You see that's off the end of the bat, so that's got some crazy spin. And he is just running. It finally gets there and then has the athletic ability to control his body to completely lose sight of the target turn and make a good throw to Freddie.
Top of the order, Happ's third look at Yamamoto. He struck out both times. The 0-1. Little bit outside. Two balls, one strike. Now this Cubs offense against everybody else averaging more than 7 runs per game, 4 runs total in 2.5 games against the Dodgers. On a 2-1, Happ watches a fastball catch the corner, and it's 2-2. You can almost see these hitters, EK, with a little shake of their heads on the pitches like that. You can see. It's like, what am I going to do with that? 2-2. Full count.
All right, so Happ is back in that 3-2 count again. Got the split last time.
Taken for ball 4. The first walk of the game comes from Happ.
And how about that? So we've seen in a 3-2 situation, we've seen fastballs, we've seen splitters. You know, by the way, let me just drop a curveball in there as well.
And so that gets Tucker to the plate with a man aboard here in the 6th inning. National League leader with 16 runs batted in this year, tied with Teoscar Hernandez. Took a strike. Getting close to the end of the road here. 97 pitches for Yamamoto. 5 2/3 scoreless. Wow, big rip and a miss at a curve. It's down to 75.
Well, you talked about it earlier, Joe, the differential in speed, and it's almost 20 miles an hour right there.
Happened first, 2 away. 99 pitch from Yamamoto is an 0-2 to Tucker and a check swing foul. That was the cutter. Don't forget about that one.
I mean, you just go up and in with that cutter. Got to come back with that splitter, right? Down and away.
Yamamoto at his best, facing one of the game's best. 0-2. Drifted away, was the splitter. Kirby Yates getting ready.
More splitters.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
wrapped around the plate, 2-2. Yamamoto fires, and the count goes full. And so the runner at first to get a head start. Yamamoto into rare territory here. It's the first time that he's exceeded 100 pitches since early June at Yankee Stadium last year. Here it comes. 6 scoreless innings for Yamamoto. Nearly flawless tonight. Got a pitcher's duel going. Bottom of the 6th inning. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 6 scoreless innings for the Dodgers. And how about this embrace with Dave Roberts? Smiles from both men. And Matthew Boyd doing the same thing for the Cubs. Mookie Betts sends a high fly ball to center field for Pete Crow Armstrong. The difference is how efficient Matthew Boyd has been. Just 69 pitches into this game with 1 away in the 6th. So this is coming into the inning. 67 for Boyd. Yamamoto's pitch count got run up there. Some foul balls against him that ran it up a little bit, but hard to nitpick tonight. 9 strikeouts, only 2 hits.
No, when you talk about what Yamamoto has done so far in this early part of the season, starters that have gone 6 innings plus this year for the Dodgers, Yamamoto has 2 of those starts. The rest of the rotation, only 1 start.
Strike on Teoscar Hernandez. Right, it's exactly what he said he wanted to be. You know, you're going to give me the extra day. You're going to give me my full Japanese schedule rest. I'm going to give you everything I got when my time does come around. Push me. And they do through 6, and he dazzles. And I know there's eye rolling going on like it's 6 innings, right? But in this day and age, you don't see it often. Go 2 from Boyd. Now 1-2 pitch, and Hernandez watches ball 2. 4 starts against the Cubs in his career. He's given up 1 run in 20 innings. And the strikeout to walk ratio 29-4. Only thing as good as the pitching is the smile. Personality that endeared him to his teammates, endeared him to the fans right away. There are certain personalities that just pop off of the screen. When you come to the ballpark, you feel like you can feel from the seats. And I think that Dodger fans very quickly felt it. Felt like they knew Yamamoto just by watching him. There's a base hit to left for Teoscar. And a man aboard for Freddie Freeman.
Just a changeup that Teoscar's able to stay through. And this is going to be the interesting at-bat for me. 2 times up tonight, Freddie's gone down swinging. And you're never going to see, I shouldn't say never, but very rarely do you ever see Freddie get beat by the same guy 3 times in a game.
First game in a couple weeks for Freeman. Resting that ankle. Boyd's 0-1 pitch after a toss over there.
Well, you mentioned the time off, and one of the things that Boyd has done with Freddie is he's made him expand the zone. Freddie's offered it a number of pitches that haven't been over the plate, but that's to be expected, as you mentioned.
And he gets hit. And perhaps helped out on a night where he's still getting his footing. So the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position for the first time in this game.
He was just trying to run a sinker inside after he had thrown that slider low and away. Got himself in a little trouble now.
As Cub killer Tommy Edman comes to the plate. 0 for 2 today with a pair of groundouts to short. The last time he hit it really hard, which is hit it really hard could be the title of his book about this year so far. Hitting it harder than ever by far.
The Dodgers need to score a run here and give Yamamoto an opportunity to get a win.
First pitch from Boyd is a little high. First and second, 1 away. 1-0 pitch. Edman. Golf swing to deep left field. Haps going back. Watch it fly. Tommy Edman. Tommy takes, strikes again, and the Dodgers lead 3-0.
Joe, when's his bobblehead? When's Edman getting a bobblehead?
This guy.
I mean, what do you got to do to get one?
His 6th tied for the National League lead. His 14th against Chicago in his career. You know, to see Tommy Edman in the short amount of time the Dodgers had him last year, and then in the postseason was eye-opening, especially the championship series. We set all kinds of records, but to see him every day, as we kind of have now, he's played the equivalent of a half season with the Dodgers, is to really see the beauty of a ball player that is Tommy Edman. To really appreciate him is to watch him every day.
Well, you got to start wondering, what the heck was St. Louis thinking? And you said it, it's in all facets. I mean, we were just talking about that defensive play he made at second base. You know, we saw him on the road trip throw a runner out at home from center field, doing it from both sides of the plate. Still leading the National League, right? Sitting at the top with the
a home run every 43 at-bats with the Cardinals, a home run every 18 at-bats with the Dodgers. Birthing a nickname. Yeah, to your point about the little things that he does, he's hitting just about every day, but even on the days where he doesn't, he's doing something to help you win games. That a lot of times doesn't show up when you're looking at the box score, whether that's him, you know, bailing a guy out on a throw at second. We've seen him make some great catches down there, whether it's a play like he made twirling last inning to get a guy at first. Smith aboard here with a walk. The base running. He's graded out as one of the best base runners in the sport since he debuted. Even Dave Roberts said, look, I'm not trying to take anything away from the guy, but he's way better than I thought he was. Part of that is that he has been better than he ever was since the Dodgers got him. He said he gives credit to the coaches, he gives credit to the culture, the great players around him. But in every way, taking his game up a notch. And it feels like he's been here forever.
You know, and the crazy thing is, you know, being around this organization the last few years, they identified him a few years ago. I mean, this wasn't, oh, let's grab him last year. This is somebody that the Dodgers have been interested in for a number of years, but just weren't able to pry him. But the opportunity wasn't there to get him from St. Louis. But when that opportunity presented itself, they weren't going to miss on that.
Tommy was saying that he hadn't heard that was the case, that the Dodgers were trying to get him until he got here, but that wasn't nothing once he heard it. He said he gave him some comfort. Like, this is not just they're getting me as a rental piece. Right. They really like my game. They like who I am. I'm free to be myself. And then helped him settle in, and that comfort helped him play well. Playing well helped him get a long-term contract and make this his long-term home. Conforto. No balls, 2 strikes. Dodgers had just 3 base runners or 4 base runners over the first 5 innings. Didn't have anybody in scoring position. 4 straight base runners here. And a 3-0 lead.
Just to your point, 1 out, Teo up. He had Teo 0-2. Base hit, hits Freddie. Home run, you're down 3-0 before you can blink.
This time Boyd gets Conforto. Strikeout number 6, out number 2. And now word from Kia. Pages 0 for 2. And to the point that you made at the start of the inning, maybe the best part about it is Yamamoto is in line to get what he deserved tonight. on a strike. Hand it off to the bullpen. It's been the most consistent strength of this team. Three, 4, and 5 due up for the Cubs in the 7th. That's Suzuki, Bush, and Swanson. Looks like it will be Kirby Yates coming in for him.
Just when they thought they'd seen enough of the splitter.
Here comes a guy that throws it twice as often. On a 2-1, Pages takes a low strike, 2-2.
Range it pours. I mean, can't buy a break. Pitch, not a strike. Okay.
Another 2-2 and another foul ball. So came into the inning at 67 pitches. We're talking about how efficient he's been, and this is going to be the 30th of this inning alone. Another 2-2. And he's worked the count full. All right, so this is nothing new for Andy. He sees more pitches than anybody in baseball. It's at second right now. Thing has been finishing it off positively. 8th pitch coming from Boyd. And he's down on strikes, but the Dodgers are up. How about the guys that have 6 home runs in the majors this year? It's a list like Judge and Trout and Schwarber and Mr. Tanks. Tommy Edmonds' 3-run home run has the Dodgers in front as we go to the 7th inning, in time for Coors Light beating the pressure as we go to the bullpen. The Dodger pen coming off 6 2/3, saving the day to kind of save that road trip in Washington. 6 2/3, just 1 hit. Pass the baton pitcher to pitcher. Yates is a part of that. And he's going to get the teeth of the lineup here. Suzuki, Bush, and Swanson. That's strike one on Seiya Suzuki. And this has been the most consistent strength of this team over the first 14 games.
It really has. And you know, you talk about this offense, though, and the runs scored. They've scored 49 runs with 2 outs. The second in line as far as teams scoring run, 35 by the Yankees. So that's just not sustainable. Right, that just is not going to continue. So, yes, his offense, they've done some things and it's part of the lineup, but I think it's a bit of an anomaly.
It's 1-2 on Suzuki. One of the 2 hits against Yamamoto, and then in a key play was hung up between first and second and tagged out for the second out of that inning with Kyle Tucker at third. And he would not score. Kirby Yates got his first win as a Dodger on Wednesday. Throwing that splitter we were talking about more than ever. Fastball misses high. As a crew, the bullpen's 7-1 record, 2.25 ERA, and critically for a bullpen, the #1 strikeout rate in baseball. Keep balls out of play. Full on Suzuki. Now 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. EK, Kirby Yates has faced 25 hitters this year and struck out 14 of them.
That's crazy. And usually he's doing it with that darn splitter, but it's, again, fastball puts away Suzuki here because he's cognizant that splitter might be there, but Kirby blows it right by him. And it's not like he's throwing 100 miles an hour at 93.
Michael Bush, happy to have Yamamoto out of there, who isn't. Strike one. And it's similar to the conversation we were having about Yamamoto, where the splitter is the pitch, the shiny toy that everybody talks about. Kirby Yates would tell you the fastball is the reason that the splitter is as good as it is, and the fastball and the ability to move it around and put it where he wants it is the reason that he's a pro baseball player to begin with. And there it is, 0-2 on Bush. Splitter came later. Splitter might have taken him from average major leaguer to an all-star, but it's that fastball that made him a big leaguer in the first place. And it's a fastball that gets Bush like a house by the side of the road. Back-to-back Ks and 2 gone in the 7th.
Shortstop, Dansby Swanson.
Nothing outstanding as far as the velocity, but the execution and the uncertainty of Bush and what was coming. Frozen.
It's picked up right where Yamamoto left off with his 9 Ks. Strike one on Swanson. I mean, what are you going to do? That thing is headed for the knees until the last second, and it falls off a cliff.
When you said it, just as a hitter, it's easy to say, hey, I'm going to just not swing at that. But it's the inability of the hitters to pick up the difference. And the tunneling is great by Yates.
Slicing fly ball, right center field. Teoscar Hernandez is there. How about another 1-2-3 inning for Kirby Yates?
Robinson replica 1955 home jersey celebrating the 70th anniversary of the World Championship, presented by UCLA Health. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
This is the anniversary of Jackie officially signing that contract. April 11, 1947. Miguel Rojas leads off this 7th inning, takes strike 1 from Ethan Roberts as the Cubs bullpen goes to work in a 3-0 game. One swing in this game, the difference, and it was having that feel to it. Nothing through 5 innings. Who was going to provide the big swing? And the answer, as it has been several times this year, was Tommy Edman with a 3-run home run. Here's a jam shot to right for Rojas, and he's got his second hit of the game. Came into the night 3 for 24 on the year, 2 for 3 in this one.
It's a backup cutter right there, and he keeps his hands inside, strong enough to shoot it out to right. He also lined out to left. He could conceivably have 3 hits tonight.
But Ohtani running out of chances to extend that on-base streak, the longest active streak in the game, 29 games in a row. 0 for 3. Strike 1. Strike 2. Everybody's okay. Target set 2 feet outside. And he put it right there. '27-year-old Ethan Roberts out of Sparta, Tennessee. His second game of the season with the Cubs, going away again. Oh, my target was away, but then the pitch was inside. A lot of funky on that.
That ball hit off his leg?
I don't know. There's so much to look at.
It looked like Shohei fouled it, but then it hit the catcher in the knee. Look at this. Boom.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it eventually got where the target was. Away. Kicks away. Rojas into scoring position. And it's 2-2 on Shohei. Roberts tries again. Ohtani swings and misses. He strikes him out.
They've been going inside a lot. They started to do it in Philadelphia as well. Just trying to continue to pound Shohei inside. And there he went with the off-speed pitch. Get him now, because there's going to be a time when he gets going. Oh, boy.
One away, runner at second. Mookie Betts the hitter. Dodgers up 3-0 here in the 7th as Betts takes outside. Philly did a good job against him. And then got it going a little bit in Washington. Reached base more than half his plate appearances there. The game where he finished a double shy of the cycle. 0 for 4 tonight, though. That was the 8th for the 7th. If it stays 3-0, looks like it'll be Treinen. The Dodgers add on, perhaps Luis Garcia. Dodgers have the third best record in the National League West and the third best record in baseball. 3 top teams all in the West. The Giants routed the Yankees tonight 9-1 to move to 10-3. That ties them with the Padres. Yeah, actually Padres just went final, beating the Rockies 8-0. So the Padres now 11-3. Padres unbeaten at home.
Yeah, right. 8-0, I believe now.
And they've given up a total of, double check this, 11 runs total in their 8-0 home start. Nick Pivetta tonight, 7 scoreless. Another 2-2 coming to Betts. Gets there, grounds it to short. Swanson from his side, not in time. Wow, what an effort by Dansby Swanson, but an infield hit from Mookie Betts.
I mean, the crazy thing on that play by Swanson, we've seen 2 other plays, both throwing from his feet. Threw one high, Bush makes a nice play, picks one, makes a nice play. This one he's throwing from his backside. That's a good throw. That's a heck of a play.
Maybe he found his new arm slot.
Right.
Dodgers looking for insurance here. First and second. 1 out, and Teoscar Hernandez at the plate. Dansby Swanson, 2-time Gold Glove winner. Back-to-back Gold Gloves before Ezequiel Tovar won it last year. Rockies' stellar shortstop. Teoscar trying to break the tie with Kyle Tucker for the National League RBI lead. On this 1-0 from Roberts, takes outside. Singled on a 2-strike pitch to start that 3-run rally last inning.
I mean, really, that's probably the at-bat of the night that's under the radar, because he was 0-2 in that at-bat, ready to be put away.
Freddie Freeman waits on deck. Wouldn't it be cool if Freddie Freeman came up with the bases loaded on his World Series Grand Slam bobblehead night? Do it for the people, Ethan. Three and 2. From 3-0 to 3-2, and Roberts comes back home. He strikes him out. So he'll have to settle for 2 on and 2 out for Freddie Freeman. There's another key spot after the base hit for Teoscar Hernandez. Freddie, who's trying to find it here in his first game back, got hit by a pitch. And that's how the table is set for Edman.
Yeah, they had Freddie down in the count 0-1, tried to run a sinker inside and got away from Boyd. But you're right, you know, Boyd had his number in the previous 2 at-bats, both strikeouts swinging, and kind of felt like kind of let Freddie up for air in that spot.
Bouncing ball to first and Michael Busch, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the 7th. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, celebrating 20 years of good times. Good times tonight. 3-run home run for Tommy Edman. Dodgers in front 3-0 to the 8th inning we go. The choice is Treinen with the lead still at 3. Nico Hoerner lofts the first pitch that he throws into center. That's got to feel good for a pitcher. You always come in, some butterflies. No matter how long you do it, still have that adrenaline going when you come in, and one pitch, you get it out.
Center fielder Pete Crow Armstrong.
I'm going to go with adrenaline there. I don't know about butterflies right now.
Might have been a bad way to put it. Blake's done it a few times. I don't even know if the dude had butterflies Game 5 of the World Series. So, yeah, well said. Crow Armstrong. Mentioned grew up in LA as a Dodger fan, but he's playing for the team that brought his dad to tears. His dad loved the Cubs so much. 2016 when they won the World Series. Pete was watching it with Dad. He said, "Dad, are you crying?" And he sure was. Instilled a little bit of Cub fandom in his boy. His dad's from Chicago, from the area, from Naperville, Illinois. And so gave a little bit of that to Pete. He used to get up early in the morning and say, "Dad, can you put the tape of the Kerry Wood 20 strikeout game on for me?" Where that, I guess at that point would have been, maybe still have some VHS.
That's VHS,
kicking around.
Yeah. Was that 98 against the Astros, I believe? That was a joke. You know, it's interesting, too. He was drafted by the Mets. Came over in a trade. But he's found himself a home.
He said, "Dad was telling me for years, the Cubs are coming, the Cubs are coming, they're going to win it." And he's starting to become more of a Dodger fan. He's like, "Yeah, Dad, okay." And then sure enough. He's playing for his dad's team. He's worked the count full against Treinen. Traded for Javi Baez and Trevor Williams year after he was drafted. Quite a talent. On this payoff pitch, slices it foul. It's twice grounded out in today's game. Cubs have only 2 hits, back-to-back hits from Tucker and Suzuki in the 4th. Only 3 base runners. Outside of those back-to-back hits, hitless in 21 at-bats tonight. And worth reiterating, this has been the best offense in baseball. Another payoff. And a high fly ball, deep center field. Pages going back with plenty of room. 2 away. Blake Treinen coming off getting the save on Wednesday. Wasn't easy, though. The last couple games been some traffic against him. Been 5 base runners the last 2 games. Was able to navigate his way through that on Wednesday. And a quiet start to this inning. 2 up, 2 down, and Matt Shaw. Dives in there for a strike. Couple takes from Shaw to get ahead, 2-1. 5'9", 185 out of Massachusetts, out of Worcester, Mass. Grew up a Red Sox fan, dreaming of being the next Dustin Pedroia, modeling his game after him. Undersized infielder. He's a contact hitter coming up through high school, and then he added that big leg kick that you see now. And by the time he had left Maryland, he was the program's all-time leading home run hitter. Reaches out, flips this ball into shallow center field. Routine Tommy Edman. Routine Blake Treinen. 1-2-3. 3-0, middle 8.
Backstage Dodgers. The team heads to Tokyo to open the 2025 season. Blake Snell, Tanner Scott, and Anthony Bonda get a taste of Japanese lifestyle, and Clayton Kershaw gets a lesson in sumo wrestling. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers tonight after the postgame show.
Tommy Edman, the star of the show tonight, to lead this one off. His 3-run home run in the 6th inning, the difference. Man, oh man, he got plenty. Eli Morgan, local product. Spins in a first pitch strike. 6 home runs for Tommy Edman, is on top of the Major League leaderboard with a bunch of guys that are known for doing that. Palos Verdes Peninsula product, Eli Morgan. Got him from Cleveland. First season with the Cubs. Has not gone well so far. He's given up 6 runs in 5 2/3. One ball, 2 strikes on Tommy Edman, who's flipped over to the side of the plate. That's really helped get this season flying. Swing from the left side of the plate. Right side had always been the better side. It's his natural side, but he put a lot of time into this swing this offseason, more time than his right-handed swing, just because it needed more. And without getting too deep into the mechanics of it all, the whole idea is just to get his whole body into the swing better.
Well, he's certainly done that. He's been as efficient as anybody. I mean, one of the things that separates him too, his bat path is about as good as anybody's in baseball. You know, I was talking, they've got this program now the Dodgers use to evaluate hitters and to measure their movement, their ground force, their bat path, all those sorts of things. And I was talking to the hitting coaches in the spring, and you know, I was asking him, you know, like, is Tommy Edman just a grinder? Is he just will himself? And they said actually his bat path, meaning how it travels through the zone, is about as good as anybody they've ever seen.
Wow.
And that allows him to make the contact, to get the barrel to the ball. And the crazy thing is, too, he's doing it from both sides. Right? I mean, there was a time last year where he was giving up, where he wasn't hitting, you know.
Yeah, that left-handed swing, he said, was pretty much all upper body in the past. So you combine this elite bat path you're talking about with what is sneaky strength. He's a monster in the weight room. Like, you glance at him and he doesn't look like a big guy. And he's not a big guy, but he's bigger than you think just at first glance. And he's certainly stronger than he looks.
Fire hydrant. Right?
Lower half especially. So when he talks about getting his whole body into this swing, he's getting his lower half, which is his most important and strongest half. He puts most of his work into his legs, getting that involved in that left-handed swing. Gets up on top of this ball, sends it in there to left. And you don't blame the folks for when Tommy Edman cracks one in the air, being interested in where it's heading. One gone in the 8th. The post-game show comes up live from the stadium when we finish up with John and Jerry and Nomar. Will Smith walked his last time and has started a new on-base streak after his 11-gamer to open the year finished. So on base 12 of the 13 games that he's played in. Tanner Scott ready for the 9th. For the Cubs, 9-1-2 coming up. Roki Sasaki goes tomorrow. Ben Brown counters for the Cubs. Sasaki coming off his best big league start. Ben Brown 1-1 with a 7.70 ERA. Off Morgan. Recovers and gets Smith.
Yeah, Brown, one of those guys that's got a lot of potential, right? Throws hard, big right-hander. Just needs experience. Sasaki coming off a productive outing. Hopefully he can continue to climb that ladder. I mean, his thing that was so important was getting that strike one. He was getting ahead of hitters, then he could just unleash that splitter.
Single and a walk for Conforto. Happy to be home after a rough road trip. Strike one for Morgan. Breath of fresh air tonight, though. Yamamoto doing what he did, going 6 innings.
Dodgers again, though, relying on the home run, right? Which is fine. Still like to see a little variety, right?
It's the spice of life.
Right.
And of offense. On a 2-1 pitch, Conforto takes away ball 3. Game number 15 of the year, and you're talking about it during the pregame show. There's been so much going on so far this year. It's like you're just now getting into the year, getting into the real thing. 2 games are halfway around the globe, and then you had the banner raising, and then you had the ring ceremony, and then you had a trip to the White House, and now an exhale, and just everyday baseball. Morgan home with a 3-2. Conforto pops it up. Dansby Swanson waits for it to come down, and this game moves along to the 9th inning. On comes Tanner Scott. 9-1-2 coming up for the Cubs. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. There's so much free food on the new Jack app, your wallet's going to miss you. One swing the difference in this game from Tommy Edman, a 3-run home run in the 6th inning. Chris Taylor's into the game to play left, replacing Conforto, and Tanner Scott's on looking for his 4th save. For the Cubs here in the 9th, the 9-hitter Amaya, then back to the top, Happ and Tucker, strike 1.
Yeah, that outing he had in Philadelphia was really neat, right? A couple pitches looked like there was trouble, and a couple pitches later, all done.
First 3-pitch save of that kind. 3 hitters. Since Mariano Rivera did it more than 2 decades ago. He's ahead of Amaya 0-2. Only 1 base runner the last 3 games for Scott. First 2 hitters that he faces will be right-handed. And serious reverse split so far in a small sample size. Righties are 1 for 13 against him. Three runs on 6 hits for LA. No runs on 2 hits for the Cubs.
Both of those hits coming in the 4th inning as well. You know, just like we talked about the other night. You know, granted, this is a 3rd inning here, but the Dodger bullpen just coming in and shutting things down. And couple that with what Yamamoto did, and how he set the tone. I mean, he was dominant. When we saw some of the swings the Cubs hitters had, oof.
For 6 innings tonight, he looked like the best pitcher on the planet. I mean,
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he had a couple pitches that he just, I mean, the Cubs, they had no idea what was coming. Whether it was freezing the fastball and the 3-2 pitch, the splitter. Thing was like a butterfly up there running away from the left-handed hitters.
it's bad enough to have the indecision between the fastball and the splitter, but then he was throwing 6 different pitches.
Right. It really wasn't fair.
Another 2-2 to Amaya. Just misses. Fouled off. Amaya's making him work. Young catcher out of Panama. Finished last season really strongly at the plate. OPS in the second half 200 points higher than it was in the first half. The 9th pitch coming from Scott. There'll be a 10th. Amaya spent 7 years in the minors. He was a top prospect at first, but then he got injured. Got injured again. Debuted end of 2023. Now in his 3rd year. Leading off this 9th against Scott. Yamamoto today, Sasaki tomorrow. Will Ayrton always. 11th pitch. A bouncing ball to Mookie Betts. Measures it up, throws across for the first out of the 9th. Here's Happ.
Again, Happ struggling this year at the top of the lineup. They put him up there. They thought that, you know, combination of the speed, the power, getting on base, but he just not translated at all.
It's this one to center field in Pages. And after the 11-pitch battle with Amaya, 1 pitch to get Happ and 1 out left to get a series opening win. Toughest out in this lineup, though. Kyle Tucker strides to the plate. At the Cubs' first hit of the game, a double in the 4th. Stranded at 3rd. And a Cubs offense that's averaged 7 runs per game since coming back from Tokyo. Looking at a big goose egg up there. Strike 1 from Scott. Lefty against lefty fastball. Strike 2. Oh boy.
God, they just clipped it. I mean, that's a perfect pitch. I mean, if I was hitting, I'd be mad, but
Tucker into right field, hangs up for Teoscar Hernandez, and there's your ball game. Home sweet home for the Dodgers. Now 7-0 at Dodger Stadium this year.
Yamamoto started things, set the tone, just absolutely dominated this hot Cubs lineup. Did it with the fastball, the splitter, and then who else? Tommy Edman. Look at, I'm lobbying. He's got to have a bobblehead. He has earned it. Last year, the way he started things this year, that 3-run shot, just does everything.
Does he really not have one on the schedule? A bobblehead?
I don't think he does.
I mean,
we got to work on that, right?
Yeah, has to have something to do, like play a tank in it. Maybe he's riding a tank. Go ahead, promo department. Send me a cut. Final score 3-0. Dodgers take the opener from the Cubs. First shutout of the season for the Dodgers, by the way. For Eric Karros, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying good night and talk to you tomorrow.